Think about this. You're constantly running, but you're never catching up. No matter how much you do, there's always something left undone. You're in a constant cycle of stress and exhaustion. That, my dear, is called time scarcity. Time scarcity is working inside of you. The fear that there will never be enough hours in a day, that you're always falling behind, and that if you slow down, even if it's just for 1 minute, everything will collapse. This mindset doesn't just create stress, it's actively wasting your mental energy, and this fuels anxiety and keeps you from making intentional decisions. Here is the truth. You have more control over your time than you think. In today's video, we are breaking down exactly how time scarcity affects your mindset, why it leads to overwhelm, most importantly, how to shift into a time abundant mindset, because time abundance will help you feel more in control. Here is exactly what we are going to be covering in this video. I'll start by defining time scarcity. We'll explore why it makes you feel constantly behind and reveal how it leads you to exhaustion. Then we'll contrast time scarcity with time abundance and uncover the key mindset shifts that you will need to break free of this trap where you're always feeling rushed but never arriving. And then I'll close by walking you through 5 powerful shifts that will help you go from feeling overwhelmed and reactive to making confident, intentional choices with your time. By the end, you'll not only understand why time scarcity keeps you stuck, but you will have practical, actionable steps to help you slow down, focus, and finally feel like you are in control of your time again. If that is something that sounds interesting to you, if you can relate with always feeling like you're in a rush and you're beating yourself up around why you're not changing, please keep watching until the end. Hi everyone, welcome back to Lessons Lived. For those of you guys who are new, my name is Nandy. On this channel, we are all about empowering women in corporate America to build wealth the right way. We don't chase hypes. We don't believe in shortcuts. We believe in building wealth in a way that is grounded. This is where ambitious women in corporate America learn how to leverage their careers, build financial independence, and create real options so that when they exit corporate, it's a choice and not a necessity. You are not here just to watch. You are here to join the Power Move Collective, because wealth isn't an escape plan. It's a power move. Before we get started, however, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below as you're watching the video if something is resonating with you. Because what I'm about to share today is something that I know we all struggle with. So let's dive right into it. Let's start by understanding time scarcity and why you always feel like you are behind. I love dictionary. I love Webster. Webster is my favorite. I always like to read definitions because often when we're overusing words, I feel like I've been overusing the word scarcity in the past few weeks. But when you read the definition, you move away from frivolously using words into really understanding the meaning behind the words. So I have my phone here. I'm going to read scarcity from my phone. It's the state of being scarce or in short supply. And scarce means something occurring in small numbers or quantities, something that is rare. An insufficiency of demand, food, money, or other resources. So when applied to time, Scarcity mindset convinces you that you are always running out of time and that there's never enough time for you to do the things that you need to do. So you always must be rushing through life in order for you to keep up. This is not just about you being busy all the time, but it's about a deep rooted fear of falling behind. It's the anxiety that there will never be enough hours in a day, that you're always racing against the clock, and that if you don't act now, that opportunity will slip you by. This, I know for me, has always led to overwhelm. You cram your schedule with too many commitments. And this is a huge problem for me. And that is actually what motivated me to write this particular video and my whole series on scarcity. Because I overcommit, I do too much, and then I find myself overwhelmed. And the reason why I'm overcommitting and doing too much, it's because my conditioning of scarcity, from scarcity with money, scarcity with time, scarcity with energy, drives almost every decision I make and everything I do. So I find myself multitasking constantly, yet I never feel truly productive. And another way the scarcity mindset manifests itself is that you feel guilty when you rest because you're always believing that you should be doing more. And worst of all, you never feel like you can truly be present in the moment because your mind is always racing to the next thing. I don't know if anybody watching this can identify with this. Constantly churning, constantly churning. But here is the truth. Scarcity creates waste, not just in time, but in energy and in money. But most importantly, the mental space in your head, because it's constantly consumed with thoughts of not having enough time. And this is extremely draining. Often what's happening is because your mind is constantly going, you can't rest. Your thoughts are stuck in a loop of fear and worry. Fear leads to overthinking, and overthinking leads to exhaustion. So instead of focusing on solution, your mind stays in a tangled web of problems that may never be a real threat. And this is the most important thing. When I realized this, it was almost comical. I almost wanted to laugh because I was like, I am psyching myself out over things that are truly imaginary, that are not real. Like, it's funny because adults say that kids have imaginary friends. We adults have imaginary problems. We translate our imaginary friends for imaginary problems that we end up catastrophizing and making a big deal out of when they're not real. So now that you understand time scarcity, let's talk about time scarcity versus time abundance and the shifting in mindset that we need to do to move from scarcity to abundance with our time. Let's start with some phrasing. I always love this part, right? Time scarcity will tell you, I don't have enough time. Or if I don't do this now, I'll never get another chance. Another statement that you have probably said, there's too much to do, I'll never catch up. Yes, that is the scarcity mindset in you talking. I can't afford to slow down. Resting means I am falling behind. All of this is the scarcity mindset in you working, right? And the scarcity mindset is trying to protect you, but it doesn't know any better. It's not mature enough to make that decision. So the cost of all of these phrases that I just said to you is pure and simply exhaustion. When you're constantly feeling like you're running out of time, your brain will remain in alert mode. This actually leads to decision fatigue. How often have you found yourself at the end of the day you're exhausted? You haven't done anything, but your brain never stopped going, so you find yourself exhausted. And when you're exhausted mentally, making even simple choices feel overwhelming. You've made up a story in your head of this catastrophe that's about to happen. that is not real. And instead of moving with purpose, now because of the fear, you can't even make simple small choices because you're so overwhelmed. The second cost of time scarcity is reduced effectiveness. Multitasking, rushing, and reacting from stress often leads to more mistakes and lower quality work. And this requires even more time for you to fix. You think that you're helping yourself, but you're really just mucking things up for yourself. The third thing is chronic dissatisfaction. My God, this one I feel on a spiritual level. No matter how much you accomplish, you never feel like it's enough. There's always something else that needs to be done. And this keeps you in a cycle of perpetual urgency. Trust me, it's exhausting even just thinking about it. Impaired relationships. Yes. When you feel rushed, you struggle to be present with the people around you who matters the most. So even basic conversations become about efficiency rather than connection. And I'm sure if you're dating somebody who has time scarcity issues, yes, everything they do is about how quickly can we do it. It's about rushing. They never feel rested. It's like they always have too many cups of coffee. I have to watch myself because even I hope it doesn't show up in my videos, but sometimes I do feel like even when I'm talking, I'm rushing because I'm so plagued by time scarcity. But we're working on it, right? Now let's talk about how to move from scarcity to time abundance. Here are some phrases that somebody with time abundance will say. And this is what I want you to shift to. The scarcity phrase will say, I don't have enough time. The abundance phrase will say, I have the power to prioritize. The scarcity mindset will say, if I don't do this now, I will never get another opportunity again. The abundance mindset will say, there will always be new opportunities. The scarcity mindset will say, there's too much to do, I will never catch up. Time abundance mindset will say, I'm in control of my time. The scarcity mindset will say, I cannot afford to slow down. The abundance mindset will say, slowing down helps me make better choices. It's in my best interest. The scarcity mindset will say, resting means I'm falling behind. The abundance mindset will say, rest is a productive use of my time. You see that? The key difference is that time scarcity makes you reactive. Time abundance makes you intentional, right? Two sets of phrasing. But each and every single one of them makes you not just feel differently, but it also makes you react differently. Instead of rushing through life, you start making decisions based on what truly matters. Now let's quickly talk about the power of time abundance mindset in helping to boost your clarity and your focus. Instead of trying to do everything, start prioritizing what truly matters. You learn to say no to distractions. Okay? This is how it manifests itself. First of all, better decision making. When you operate from abundance, you slow down and make intentional choices instead of reactive ones. Two, a greater sense of peace. When you realize that time is not something you need to control or fight against, it's something you can align with and use wisely. Three, more meaningful moments. By letting go of the pressure of always being productive, you create a space for deeper, closer relationships. You create a space for productivity and personal growth. Shifting from time scarcity to time abundance is not, I repeat, it's not about magically creating more hours in the day. It's about changing how you think about time and how you choose to spend it. So with that, thank you for sticking with me all the way through this video. Now we are going to move about actionable steps that you can take to shift from time scarcity to time abundance. I want to take you from rushing to prioritizing. The belief that moving faster will get you ahead is one of the biggest illusion and delusion of time scarcity. When you rush through tasks, you often make mistakes and you do overlook important details. This will then lead to you ending up having to redo the things later. Prioritization, however, allows you to focus on what truly matters instead of wasting your energy on urgency. I'm going to repeat that. Do not waste your energy on urgency, but learn how to prioritize. So here are some actionable steps to move you from rushing to prioritizing. Instead of trying to do everything, identify one, maximum two things that are most important tasks for each day. Whether you set daily, monthly, quarterly goals, the less you have, the better. Focus on quality over speed, ensuring your effort is spent where it truly counts. The second shift we are making is from overcommitting to intentional scheduling. Saying yes to everything may seem like a way to maximize opportunity, but in reality, it leads to burnout. This will then prevent you from focusing on what truly aligns with your goals. Being intentional with your time, though, means making choices that serves your long-term well-being as opposed to just reacting to immediate pressures. Here are some actionable steps on how to achieve this. Before you say yes to a new commitment, pause and ask yourself, does this commitment align with my priorities? If you set goals, go back and double check this new commitment against those goals. Does it align? I started the year with a very clear set of goals on what I wanted to achieve. Within a few weeks, my energy went somewhere completely different. Now I'm doing a freaking bookkeeping class because I did not take the time to really think that this goal aligned with my priorities. And in a way, thank God, it's not a complete derailment from my priorities, but nevertheless, it still was a derailment for my goals. If it does not align, practice saying no with confidence. No, my darling, is a complete sentence. And sometimes, let's say you don't want to say no. Can you ask the person who's presenting you with the opportunity if they would consider you stepping into that opportunity when your current priorities are done with? The third shift I want you to make is from multitasking to deep focus. Yes, I will probably be doing a video on deep focus and what it is here very soon. Multitasking may feel productive, but it actually reduces efficiency and it increases stress. It's just like causing you to release more serotonin as opposed to dopamine. We don't want that. Constantly switching between tasks exhausts your brain and it makes it harder to produce high quality work. Deep focus allows you to be more effective and achieve better results in less time. Here are some actionable steps that work for me like a charm. Block out time for focused work. What I mean by that is like you're shutting everything down. No music, no TV, but you're diving right down into that task and you're giving it all of your energy. Set yourself a timer for anywhere from 15 minutes to 45 minutes, no more than an hour. You will give this task your full attention. One task. You will be shocked how much you can accomplish when you start practicing deep work. Turn off all notifications for your phone. Eliminate all distractions. No kids, nothing. If you need to lock yourself into a bathroom to do the deep work, you do what you need to do. But start practicing how to perform deep work in a short period of time. In exercise or in fitness, it's called HIIT, high intensity interval training. It works. It's power work, right? The fourth shift we are going to make is to shift from fear of resting to embracing recharge time. Rest isn't wasted time. It's a crucial investment in your mental and physical health. Without rest, your ability to think clearly, make decisions, and be productive will decline. A well-rested mind works smarter, not harder. This is really important. And I think that it's important when I'm talking about rest, I don't just want you to think about sitting at home doing nothing. I really want you to start thinking about an activity that brings you joy without productivity. Something really silly, something really mindless, right? Think about going outside and playing with children. Doesn't do much in terms of productivity, but it brings you joy. It shifts your mindset. My problem is that I rest, but I often rest at home in front of a TV. And my rest is usually reading a book, a nonfiction book on productivity, on this, and that. So it's never just, I'm going to go kayaking. So what I'm actually challenging myself to do this year is to look for a mindless hobby that I can just do for fun. Here are some actionable steps, and I already kind of started sharing this a little bit. Schedule intentional downtime. Set a daily cutoff time for your work and allow yourself to unplug. And unplug without guilt. Recognize that a well-rested mind makes better decisions overall. Okay. And if you can look for an activity that is not tied to productivity, something that you would do just for fun, even better. The fifth and last shift I want you to make is to move from worrying about the future to trusting the present. The fear that you need to do everything right now creates panic and poor decision making. Trusting that you are making progress at the right pace allows you to stay present and take more intentional steps towards your goals. Of all the things that I'm enjoying through this journey, this is the one that is truly bringing me the most satisfaction and peace of mind. My goal for 2025 is to learn to be more present because for far too long, I have lived in the future. Always, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? When I achieve that next thing, I don't even take the time to enjoy it, to celebrate. I just quickly jump into the next one. So for myself, I'm learning to be more present. Here are the actionable steps I want you to take on this journey. Practice gratitude for the time you have today. I talk about the growth journal a lot. Everyone should be journaling. You should have a journal. If you don't have one, my favorite places to get it for a good price is TJ Maxx, Ross. Yeah, I think TJ Maxx, Ross. What's the other one? Marshalls. Marshalls is also a good one because they're all from the same family. Go grab your journal. Grab you a fancy pen because you want this journaling ritual to be something that truly brings you joy. This is why I like those journals because they're cute, they're fancy. If you want to create one, you sure can. At the end of each day, write down 3 things that you have accomplished or enjoyed. This will shift your focus from what's missing in your life to what is actually working. Before we close out, I want you to remember that you, my dear, are not running out of time. You are learning to use it wisely. Time scarcity mindset is not a reality. When you live in a time scarcity state, you're not running out of time, but you are running out of clarity, you're running out of presence, and you're running out of intentionality. The fear of time is slipping away because you are stuck in a constant motion, but real control over your time comes from making empowered choices, not doing more. It's really important, okay? You are not buying yourself more time by worrying about time. You only do so by making better decisions. Each moment you spend worrying about not having enough time is a moment that could be spent using it well. So shift from scarcity to abundance. And this shift isn't about finding more time. It's about recognizing that you, my dear, already have enough and using that enough time with purpose. So Take a deep breath, slow down, choose wisely, because when you stop chasing, you finally start living fully in it. As always, thank you guys so much for joining me for another video. If you found this video to have value, please share it with somebody you know who is struggling with time scarcity. If you have any questions for me, I'm always checking my comments and I answer as many questions as I possibly can. I have a lot of great things coming up. I will be sharing more videos on the scarcity mindset in religion, scarcity mindset in your childhood. I also have a lot of great videos coming up on real estate investing so that you can learn the basics of real estate investing and start investing today if you have not already started. I will also have some basic personal finance videos, how to understand your retirement plan with your employer. Lots of great things are coming up. So please do subscribe and click the notification bell so that you do not miss any of the videos that I will be posting here very soon. I will see you, my dears, in the next video.